And then before that, we used to have Artiology is another one. So the corners of this are about the size, but this is going to be, and I tell it's kind of like rain that's coming off of the rooftop, and it's going down, but we're going down at an angle, a little bit of a diagonal, so it's not straight down. But we want it to go into the corners, so somewhere about at the bottom, one side or the other, I have them put their hand in one corner and make a little dot over here in the corner, a couple fingers away, like about 3 fingers away from the side. So we don't want it to be all the way down on the bottom. Same thing on the other side. These are good guidelines for kids, and everyone's is going to look different, so kind of like that. Okay, and then we're going to connect these lines, like running off the rooftop and running off to the dot. Now this is a cylinder shape, so you can use those kind of words. So we want it to look round and curved. So we're going to curve this with a little bit of a happy face. So it's not straight, it's curving around. Now we're going to add that shadow and that dark and light contrasting, because Rembrandt has his light. There's a big word for it. Kids have to remember that chiaroscuro. Chiaro is light, and then dark scuro, if I can backwards, chiaro, one of them is light, one of them is dark. I think chiaro is light and scuro is dark. So we see the shadow on the side, so the light actually. So taking the side of your crayon, and this is going side to side. Kids will want to go up and down a lot, so we're going to be horizontal lines from side to side, just back and forth from the bottom to the top. Side of your crayon.
How would you use the tip side or the?
If you have broken crayons, like old ones, those are the best ones. I love having, you don't have to have them now, but for the kids, like taking the crayons and taking the paper off of them all, that's what I like using with them. Then they can just take the side of the crayon. Yeah, and these will get broken by the time everybody's through them anyways. They're going to be all broken. But if you have old ones that are, and what I love to tell the kids, when you have a little piece of broken crayon, I said, what would you do with this if you were cleaning your room and you found it? You'd throw it in the trash. Well, look what you made with a little piece of broken crayon. So if you're bored in the summer and you just find a broken crayon, you can make a masterpiece. So black. On the opposite side, we're going to take the black, and we're going. And you can't really see it all that well when you do it on here because it's black on black. It doesn't really show up all that well. But from the bottom to the top on that side, when the light hits it, you see it a lot more. So what I like to do is make a note, like what you do, because when you might forget, depending on when you're going to do this lesson, you might like, oh shit, what did I do first? You do have the instruction things, but I went by those a lot, and I just find that the quicker way or the best way of doing it. But you can certainly follow that. But I like to make myself a little note what I did first. Okay, so now we have a couple of these little curves in there. Now you can add them or you don't have to, but we want to keep that same kind of happy face thing. Curving. Now everybody's is going to be different. They don't have to do it, but just adds to that little windmill. So the reason why we do a windmill is because Rembrandt's family, they were millers, and so they had a mill, and so you can ask kids what would they make with this. It's like, it could be like grains and things like that. So now you can have a black little door on, and you want to make the black on the white, so then it shows up. So the little oval door, and color it in solid. Hard square, doesn't really matter, but the little door. And then if you'd like to have a little bit of a walkway. So kind of teaching them too, when things get closer to you, they get larger, so they get a little wider. So you can come down to one corner and out the bottom, so it gets a little bit wider, and color it in black. Now this is something kids will usually, when they make trees, landscapes, whatever, they put everything like at the bottom, so it's like sitting up on a hill. So we want to take with the white crayon about at least 2 fingers up or so on each side, and it will look, and I can tell, it looks like the windmill has arms on it. So about 2 fingers up on each side with the white crayon. You're going to put a line, and then a little bit of that white, you don't have to color it all in, just like the darkest, which basically is the lightest, on the top, and it kind of gradually just fades away so it doesn't look like it's floating. So that's one of the most important things, and when you walk around and you can see if the kids actually put that line so it doesn't look like their thing is floating. It's like the Wizard of Oz in the houses, you know, you gotta put it on the ground, you gotta ground it. So, and then ask them, what letter of the alphabet do you see? X, a great big X. So these lines need to be straight, so if they have a ruler they can use it, or the little piece of paper, but it's not necessary or anything, but for some kids you know, they're like all off, so they're not really right on. So we're going to make a little circle in the middle with the white. Am I going too fast? You guys okay? Okay. So we're going to make that diagonal line straight through, kind of even on both sides, a nice big X. So you can show them this is not just a little bitty X. So make one line going one direction, and then crossing it over. So we're going to make an L, is what I try to, because they, you know, they're learning their alphabet if they're like in TK and K. So they'll understand that a little bit more, because this is the part that we're going to be making the blades on here. So if they make it like an L, and I'm making it the wrong way, so sorry. Like, whatever direction you're going in. I was looking at this one up here. So turning it around and around. So don't say an L and doing it the way I did it. I did it backwards. I must be dyslexic. Okay. So that they're all going the same direction.
Hey, Crystal. Hi. Hi, ladies. Thank you all, you parents. I just wanted to come in and say how doodly do. Mrs. Yard, if you guys feel like it, come in and watch.